Thank you for joining us here on WHAS 11 News at 4. I'm Alex Cedar. We do start with breaking news this afternoon. Former LMPD officer Brett Hankison is being sentenced right now at the courthouse, and we're still waiting to learn what a judge will decide. Hankison is one of the officers that performed a no-knock warrant on Breonna Taylor's apartment the night she died. On March 13th, 2020, LMPD officers in plain clothes busted into Taylor's apartment after midnight. Taylor was at home in bed with her boyfriend Kenneth Walker, and he insists officers did not announce themselves. Walker says he thought it was possible a break-in and admittedly fired a shot that hit former LMPD officer Jonathan Mattingly. From there, gunfire erupted, including from 3 officers. Mattingly, Miles Cosgrove, and Brett Hankison shot at Walker and Taylor. Ballistics show Cosgrove shot the bullet that killed Taylor. She was a 26-year-old Metro EMT and was not the main suspect in the drug investigation that led them to her home. In November, a federal jury found Hankison guilty of violating Breonna Taylor's civil rights. The jury determined he used excessive force when Hankison fired 10 shots into the side of her apartment. That was the night of the deadly 2020 police raid, but none of Hankison's bullets hit Taylor. The first time federal prosecutors tried Hankison, it ended in a mistrial. That night in 2020, next door, there were 3 neighbors that were home, including a pregnant woman. Hankison's shots went through their apartment, but he was found not guilty of violating their rights. Hankison was also acquitted of his state charges in 2022. And here we have a live look from one of our crews as we wait to learn if Brett Hankison will spend any time behind bars. The U.S. Department of Justice recommended he get no prison time. The DOJ is now pushing for Hankison to be sentenced to 3 years of supervised release. We have multiple crews on scene at the courthouse right now, and as soon as we hear what Hankison's sentencing is, we will keep you updated both on air and online. Crowds of protesters were seen outside this afternoon, and at this moment, we know that at least 4 people were detained by LMPD officers, and one of those include Breonna Taylor's aunt. WHAS 11 crews outside the courthouse also saw several people blocking traffic before Metro Police showed up. And right now, WHAS 11's Jose Alonso and photojournalist Emma Gefter join us live from downtown. And Jose, here at 4 o'clock, we're still waiting for a sentencing. What is the scene like outside the courthouse?
Alex, like you said, we're not the only ones. It's a lot of other people here waiting for that sentencing. Right now, it's feeling pretty peaceful, but there is this sense of tension, especially as we're dealing with this heat. Everyone's dealing with this heat out here. Now, like I said, feeling peaceful right now, but it was just moments earlier that things were looking a lot more chaotic. I want to show you some of that video we were able to get earlier. Take a look at this dramatic video showing protesters in the middle of West Broadway Street. You can see one of them trying to jump on top of a Louisville Water Company truck. Thankfully, no one was hurt, but a group of people did block off the street. Again, that's West Broadway in downtown Louisville. This is all unfolding there in front of the federal courthouse. Now, we also saw Breonna Taylor's aunt, that's Bianca Austin, also protesting on Broadway with a megaphone. Eventually, police were able to clear the street, and you'll see here in this picture that Bianca was being detained by law enforcement. She's one out of several who were arrested outside the courthouse today. But again, bringing it back to here, there's that tension still waiting for the sentencing of Brett Hankison and where this will leave off next. But of course, we were able to speak with one of the protesters. We're going to hear from them at 4:30. So stick with us here. Until then, we're going to keep reporting live here in downtown Louisville. Jose Alonso, WHAS 11, on your side.
All right, thank you, Jose. Hankison was not the only officer at Taylor's apartment that night. He was the only one charged with wanton endangerment. John Mattingly, a retired LMPD sergeant, wrote a book describing that night when he was shot in the leg. Miles Cosgrove fired the shot that killed Breonna Taylor. He was fired from LMPD and is now a sheriff's deputy in Carroll County. When Cosgrove first started at the department, people in the area protested his hiring. After Cosgrove's hiring, protesters told us they didn't feel safe in the community knowing Cosgrove would be working for the Carroll County Sheriff's Department. But Chief Deputy Rob Miller said Cosgrove's experience could be official. Cosgrove was never indicted and never had his certification revoked. Joshua Janes and Kyle Meany, both former LMPD officers, are accused of depriving Taylor of her rights. Janes is facing 2 additional charges of conspiracy and falsification of records for allegedly lying on the search warrant. LMPD was conducting a drug investigation involving Taylor's ex-boyfriend, Jamarcus Glover. A witness reportedly saw Glover leaving Taylor's apartment with a package. After a federal investigation, it was found that Janus and said USPS confirmed that Glover was receiving packages at Taylor's address. The investigation found that was false, and Meany signed off on the warrant knowing it wasn't true. Those cases are still working their way through the courts. This year marked 5 years since Taylor's death. We have a timeline of the night she was killed, and you can find that on our website at WHAS11.com.